Robin and Paul Geddes' 36-hectare property is on the banks of the Waikato River. It contains two significant historical sites, the Bluff Stockade and a pā. The Geddes are restoring the property to its natural state as a kahikatea forest with the help of conservation volunteers.
We bought this property in 1995. At that stage there were no internal fences. It was mostly covered in gorse, which we've since removed and still keep on having to remove. We were on a 10-acre block, but it was becoming very built up, so we thought we'd move a bit further out. Paul wanted some water, I wanted some native bush, and this was only 20 minutes down the road from where we were. We're at the Bluff Stockade site, and behind us is Te Pātua's pā. There was a large stockade here, built, I understand, to protect the Te Ia landing, which was just over there, where there was a pub and a store. The Great South Road was going to be brought to that point and people were going to be ferried over, but I think it was Governor Grey who said, no, we'll take people round through the swamp, through Mercer and Marimari. So there was a big stockade here. Boats came in down there and the soldiers came up the hill. I understand it was also a site of a Maori pā before the stockade was built here. This is part of this Te Ia Trust land. There's 36 hectares and we have covenanted 22 hectares, so everything behind the fence is in the covenant, all the wooded areas. We've got about 30 acres of grazing left and the rest of it's covenanted now and we're trying to restore it. Putting it under a covenant largely arose from where I came from in Hill Road in Manurewa. We had a poultry farm there with very large totaras on them. And the developers came in and just took each and every one of them down with the understanding that they'd put some seedlings in somewhere else, but there's no way that the seedlings could compensate for the loss of those very large old trees, and I didn't want that to happen here. I didn't want to be a part of seeing that happen again. The way we've done it was to think about things for the long term. So once we started to think that we were really only caretakers for the property, then we found that there were an awful lot of people who were out there to help us, including all the Kiwi2 people, River Care, which was an Environment Waikato group, plus bodies like Water Care. They've helped us by putting in trees, giving us people to plant for the day, and giving us River Care gave us, Environment Waikato gave us some money for fencing initially. So if you're thinking about it in the long term for the future, then you'll find there's a lot of people there to help us, and that's what we found, and we've just gone from strength to strength.
And how far do you want to go?
Well, I reckon a group in there, and then on the other side of that willow, another group in there. I've got 19, and then on the other side of that willow, I think we can get some more in. Today we're planting kahikateas right on the river edge just to see if we can revegetate this area with natives. None of the others have survived. The pigeonwood or coprosmas, none of the usual things that we might plant in here have survived in that environment. They'll survive up here where it doesn't flood, but that floods every year, and only the flaxes, cabbage trees and the kahikatea have managed to make it.
Got a couple of knives, guys. But
these kids from conservation volunteers that come and stay over a week period are all overseas students in their gap year, and they pay to come and work. They get put up at night, of course, and they get fed, but they'll come for 5 days, and it works out really well because they're here first thing to start and they go till the end of the day, till the light goes. So you really get your money's worth, and they make a big difference. I tapped into it on the internet looking for people to volunteer, or just through woofers initially, but we're not an organic farm, so I just looked a bit further and there they were. I can also get them on a daily basis. They come out for $500, you get 12 people, you can clear a patch of Tradescantia or get rid of some gorse or plant a whole lot of trees, and it's been really, really good.
This program was made with funding from New Zealand On Air.